Yeah, my name's Martin, I'm an addict.
Hey, Martin.
Do you know what, I didn't want to come here and do this today, I really didn't, but I know I've got to do it. Yeah, I don't normally dress like this, but my best mate's mum died, and I buried her today with my pal, and you know, recovery's given me that I can be present today for things like that, because in addiction, I wouldn't have cared. I just thought she's dead and that's it. And I lived with her for quite a long time. She's like a second mum to me. And yeah, so it was quite hard today. It was quite an emotional day. And after that, after the funeral, I went to the wake, and it was in a pub, and they was all drinking, and I was buying my mate drinks and that, and yeah, I didn't even think about buying a drink myself today, and that's a far thing from me a couple of years back. Yeah, I'll just say a bit about myself. Like in the book it says, yeah, we essentially use because we like the effect drugs produce, and that's what I would drink, but I say drugs, yeah, but that's what I liked. I liked the effect I got from drugs. Until I went into treatment, I don't know, nearly just under 3 years ago now. I didn't think I had a problem. I just thought I just kept getting nicked and getting put away. I thought that was my problem. And yeah, I detoxed in that place, and then I realised that I had a drug problem, and it wasn't just a drug problem I had. But yeah, I liked drugs. I liked what they did to me, and at the start it was all fun, and the progression, and yeah, I used to like it. I used to like going out raving. I used to like taking these. I started sniffing glue, smoking weed. I used to go down the pub, have a little drink, but drink wasn't my thing. I didn't really like it, and yeah, it just the drugs progressed, and then in the end it was like I didn't like drugs. Drugs liked me, and yeah, I would do some mad things for them drugs, and I can't believe, now I look back on it now, I can't believe what kind of lifestyle I led for 30 odd years. It was like crazy, but I didn't care. In addiction, I didn't care about anybody or anything, only me. And like they talk about higher power, your higher power, your understanding, God, your understanding. Mine was money and drugs. They were my higher power, and yeah, it's just constant. But yeah, I used for a long time. I was scripting methadone for over 25 years, I think. And at the end I was like 100 mil, and I wouldn't go to you had to go to a doctor, a hospital, to get up more than 100 mil, and I just couldn't be bothered. The 100 mil would do me, and then I would go and thieve and do whatever I did to get more money for using. But yeah, so from as far back, like long time, from a young kid, I took methadone, and I used that as a fall-safe blanket, I think. Like if I couldn't get something that morning, I knew the methadone was there. And at that time, I used to go and pick 500 ml bottles up from the chemist. It wasn't like sort of thing it is today. And I remember where I come from the other end of Hampshire. That's where my parents live. And there was Brookwood Hospital. That was a place where you had to go. There's nothing like today, like clinics where you go and get stuff. That wasn't about then. It was just one thing, hospitals. And everyone from all the counties, like Surrey, Berkshire, some people in the Berkshire, my mum and dad live in the Berkshire, Surrey and Hampshire. It's all on borders, and people go to all these different places, just one place to get their methadone. And I thought that was normal. When I was growing up and I was doing it, I thought that was a normal thing. And because that's why I say drugs like me, they got a grip on me. And yeah, I don't know, I think it was about 5 years ago, I was in Lewis doing a prison sentence, and I got nicked for the supply. First of all, a couple of years before that, I got nicked for the concern of the supply. Then I got nicked for the supply, and then these team tried to work me all the time in Brighton, and there's one certain person who wouldn't let me go. He kept saying to me, there's a way out, there's a way out. And I didn't really listen. I wasn't when I got nicked for the supply, I thought, right, I'll use his little thing as an out from the sentence, from a prison sentence, and I got to a detox unit. The judge gave me a rehab, and I went to a detox unit. And in that detox unit, all I did was smoke crack. I didn't care. Do you know what I mean? That's where my mind wasn't fixed about recovery. I didn't have no intention. I just thought it was a swerve. And I got kicked out of that detox, and the judge called me back to court, and obviously I went missing, and then I got nicked, and I had to do the sentence. And I've been on remand a year and a half waiting for that rehab. Now I have to go back and do another 2 years. And yeah, in that, when I went back, there was this worker, and he was still telling me, there's a way out, Martin, there's a way out. And there was before I got kicked out, there was a carrot worker, and she was trying to get me on the drug recovery wings, and I just thought, I don't know if I want to do this. But then I did. I went back onto the drug recovery wing, and I started stopping my methadone coming down slowly. And when I finished my sentence, I was still. I went to another jail and I was taking Subutex, so I was taking more drugs. But I finished the sentence in that jail, and then I was on Subutex. And afterwards, when I was getting released from jail, and they said to me that they'd try and push for funding again to get me a rehab again. And I was thinking, if I don't like it, I can just go anyway, because I finished my sentence, it don't really matter. And they did. They got me funding to go again, and I went to a rehab in Southampton. And yeah, when I got there, I was angry. I was like, I'd lived most of my life on the landings, and I brought that behaviour into rehab. And but you know what? I did sort of listen, but then someone I've known since I was a kid, yeah, come into that treatment centre, and I've known him since I was 12 years old. Been in care with him, sniffed glue with him when I was a kid, met him through the jail system. And when I asked if it was this person, when I asked the person who was coming to take the meeting, the secretary taking the meeting, I asked his name, and he said this person, and I said his second name, he said he didn't know. Anyway, it turned up, this person turned up, and because he's got a weird name, a distinctive name, and yeah, he sat talked to me, and like, he was the same person, but he was a different person, and his whole demeanour was different, his whole aura, his whole attitude, and it was quite weird, it was. Because when I started reading the book, it was in the book, and it like sort of freaked me out a bit, yeah. But yeah, he told me he was 8 years clean, told me what he did, and then when he shared about the threefold illness. And I thought in that treatment centre, I could just go in there, get off the Subutex, get myself clean, and I could go back to Brighton and did what I did again, did what I used to do again, because I was clean, I wouldn't need to use. And yeah, it slowly hit me that I couldn't do that stuff. When I come off the drugs, I was even worse, and I was quite manic in that treatment centre, I think. But yeah, when he talked about threefold illness, I never knew I suffered from this disease in my mind. I didn't realise what it was, and I sort of like had a bit of a belief. That sort of got me. That sort of like, you know, like fishing. That sort of like got the hook onto me. And then I heard him share again on the Friday night when he used to go out to, like, from that treatment centre, he'd go out to a meeting on Friday, CA meeting. I heard him share again there, and he went through the steps, and like he knew this stuff. He was like knowledgeable about recovery, and that's what I knew I needed, because like I said, our ways don't work. My ways always took me to jail. That's where it took me, and that's if I was. It's taken me to some dark places, but jail was a bit of a relief, I suppose. But I could handle it in jail. Out here, life I couldn't deal with. But yeah, we went through the steps. I asked him to sponsor me. At work, we went to a place over in Portsmouth, like a unity convention thing, and I asked him to sponsor me. He said to me, yeah. He started giving me these suggestions and stuff, yeah, and like give me a just for today card, and he said, yeah, I'll do these things, and I said, you're crackers, I ain't gonna be able to do that all day every day. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I thought he meant do everything, and he was saying like some gal told me, I'll just cut one thing out of a hat and like just pick one. And yeah, I started to do stuff like go down in the mornings and the breakfast tables, because I was up, I'd lay all the breakfast tables and clean the coffee bar and just do stuff. And like people say, I wanted to say something. If someone went in and made the coffee bar mess, I was thinking I've got up and cleaned that this morning. But like I never said nothing. That was like he was teaching me stuff in that treatment centre what I'd need outside, tools like I'd need to cope, stuff to cope with. He was getting me writing inventory. He was saying about inventory, and I didn't have a clue what inventory was. I had nothing. When I come into this, I knew nothing about recovery at all. Nothing, zero. One time I knew about meetings, that was in Brighton, and people told me loads of drug addicts go there, so I thought I could go there and serve up. That's the only thing I knew about meetings, and that was my mentality. But he started saying about inventory, and a staff member there sat me down in the office one night, and he was showing me through the book, the AA book about inventory. So like I had a half an understanding about what inventory was about. And praying, when he said to me like pray and all that, I was thinking, I said to him later, but I was thinking he was nuts, yeah. And I said meditation, sit with yourself before you go down. I was thinking, well, I'd do meditation in the morning anyway, so what do I need to sit with myself for if I can go down in the room and do it in the morning in the treatment centre? But when he started showing me things and explaining stuff to me about what I had to do in the mornings and praying, I said to him, my pals, the people I knew would think I'm crazy. And when I did talk to him and I have to talk to my pals, they said to me like, I was nuts. This is God squad, what am I doing? They're brainwashing me. And he said to me, Martin, maybe your brain needed washing. And I think that was right, because I was messed up. When I first turned up there, I was very messed up. But I started going through the work. And when I went into the treatment centre, I went into the secondary house, and I got a planned discharge from that treatment centre. It was lucky because they put me into the secondary house as well. So like I think I was a bit too much. I think I was trying to sabotage things. You know, like people say at the end of stuff, we try and sabotage ourselves. I think that's what I was trying to do. But yeah, I went into a secondary house, and I said to when the person, he said, "Will you come over to Portsmouth every week?" There was a meeting on a Monday there, and I used to go 2 hours before the meeting and sit down and do bookwork with him. And when I was going over there, I was thinking, well, I'm paying a tenner fare every week on this train to get over there. And I was like thinking, what am I paying to go through the steps for? And that was my attitude. What am I paying to do this for? But that was like 2.5 years ago, and I went through the steps, and do you know when they say a change of thinking and attitude, yeah, I think some of mine did sort of change, but I don't think it did that much. I still held on to old ideas, like it says, and that had to be sort of smashed out of me. I've got another, my old sponsor, I say this, my old sponsor, at Christmas time, I was doing stuff for my sister in Brighton, painting a pub, and people said that he wasn't going to meetings anyway. His missus phoned me and said, yeah, he's not doing meetings no more. He said to me, he can't sponsor me no more, I have to find another sponsor, and that he was social drinking. And I thought, my head is so twisted. That's the insidious disease we got here, that we live with, baffling. My head told me, he's a junkie like me, I've met him through the system all my life. If he can do it, why can't I do it? And I was working in a pub, and I was there 2.5 months, and I was getting sick there. I was getting up working, then I was staying at night time. I'd go out to a meeting, come back, and I'd be in the pub. Everyone's drinking, some people are sniffing Charlie and that. And it was over the Christmas period, Boxing Day, so Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and then New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, and they was all drinking champagne. Champagne was out on the tables. I was sitting eating dinner with, and I was thinking, my head kept telling me maybe I'm different, and drink ain't my thing anyway, so maybe a drink would be alright. But do you know what? For 2.5 months I sat there, then I had to phone people and they said, listen, get away from it. The person who was close to me in my life at the moment said, get away now. Do you know what I mean? Just give them an excuse, you can't do it no more, you've got to go. And I left and I went back to Southampton. But do you know what? I think I was there chasing the money, because it was good money. And in my recovery, in these nearly 3 years, I found out that what my downfalls are is money and women. That's what's been my bad leads into bad behaviours. Like they say, the honey and the money, that's what it was with me. And but yeah, I had to leave Brighton. I went back to Southampton, and I forgot to say this, for them couple of months when he wasn't sponsoring me, I was thinking I don't need a sponsor. And like they say, I was sponsoring myself, and like what I was saying was alright. And when I went back to Southampton, I see someone, I sat down and chatted with him, and he said to me, you need to sort yourself out. And I asked him to be my sponsor, and he started taking me through the work a few months ago. And first 3 months I was starting to do it. I go in there, and I got to step 9, then he said to me, have a look about. He asked me first if I want to go through the steps again. I said, yeah, I'd like another understanding of it. Anyway, I got to step 9, and then he said to me about, what do I pray to? What do I hand my will and my life over to? And I said, I don't really know. And he said to me, he put it in this fashion, he said to me, if you was going to give someone some money, would you want to know what it's going to? If you was putting into a business, would you want to know what you're going to make from that business, what you're giving it to? And I said, of course I would. Do you know what I mean? And he said, so what are you handing your will and your life over to? And I didn't know. I didn't have a clue. I said, I believe what I hear in the meetings, what I see in the meetings. He said, that's not good enough. He said, you came to believe a power greater than yourself could restore you to sanity, not people in the meetings. And yeah, it made me have another outlook on stuff, yeah. And for 3 months, like 3 months ago, maybe 4 months ago, I was just like baffled by it. And then the more I got in a bit more pain over them couple of months, then I said to him, we sat down and had a chat, and then I started going through the work again with him properly. And I had to write what my beliefs in God was, and what my God and my understanding, and what the positives of it, the negatives of it, and what do I choose my loving God to be. And once I sat down with him, he took me through the stuff in Back to Basics book it is, yeah, and he took me through it, and it was like everything he'd just gone through with me, it was there. It was like, it was quite mad. And yeah, then he said to me, you have an understanding, and like it's the start of the understanding. So now I've got a bit of an understanding what I pray to, and I know that sooner or later I was going to get ill. I'd have committed crime, I would have done stuff, and I'd have probably used again if I hadn't have put my mind back into focusing on this, because I've tried a lot of other things and it's never worked for me. And this was working, but then I was stopping taking inventory, and then every day and every night now I've got to read step 10 to step 11, the full page 44 to 48 every day, and morning and night, because he's trying to get me drummed into it. Then he's getting an app and sending him inventory, sending him gratitude lists every night, so he's getting me back into doing that. Because when I first come out and I was in that secondary house, I was with a friend who was in there from London, and we was on this stuff. I was like on fire then, and I felt it. But then when I started slowly dropping things out, I started getting ill. And that's the moral of this story, man, that I knew where it was taking me, and it was only one place I was going, and that would have been if I was lucky, because like I've seen a lot of people die in these 3 years, and where I come from there's more people dying down there. And I don't want to be one of those. I thought when I first come into it as well, I used to read One of the Unfortunates. I used to think I was one of them people, and I couldn't grab this stuff, and I wouldn't be able to stay here. But I just personally, like, I didn't understand what a day at a time meant when I first come around. But I know now, just for today, as long as I go to bed clean today, I've got another day to start tomorrow, and I can always start my day again, because my day hasn't been good today. It's not been good to see my best pal's mum die so quickly. I mean, I was going to go and see her a couple of weeks ago. I was going to go and see her, and I didn't go. And now that I know when I get a thought of doing something for someone and go and doing it, I need to do it, not just think about it. That showed me that thinking's no good. My thinking ain't good, because I would have been able to see that lady before she died. But yeah, recovery, what it's given me, it's given me a life. It's given me a lot. Sometimes I get ungrateful, I get bored and pissed off, like it says, yeah. But then I have to flip that on its head, because I've got a lot to be grateful for today. I got my own car and that. I passed my test in recovery and got my own car. I used to drive other people's cars. You know what I mean? It wasn't my money I spent, it was other people's money. I spend my own money today. I don't thieve off people. Yeah, it's given my parents. Yeah, my parents are really. I went into that treatment centre nearly 3 years ago, and my mum had Alzheimer's when I come out of jail, and my dad was her carer. So I come out knowing, getting in my head that my mum's going to lose her memory and I'm going to have to deal with that. And then about a year ago, my dad started going a bit funny, and he went into hospital, and he'd had a stroke, a silent stroke, and then he started getting dementia. And now my dad never come back out of that hospital. He went into a care home from there, and he went into a nasty care home. He was getting marked up, hurt. I kept going asking for incident reports, and they couldn't show me none. So I've done my damnedest to get him moved, and I got him moved, yeah. And he's in a beautiful care home today. He's been there about 4 months. There's not a mark on him, so I know now what something was happening to him in that other centre. But yeah, if I say to my parents, I'm going to be. So my mum lives at her house. She still lives in my mum and dad's house. She won't give that house up. She don't want to go into no care place. She don't want to go to where my dad is, even though it's beautiful. It's like a 5-star hotel. It really is gorgeous. She won't go in there, because if he dies, she's going to be there on her own. She's not that stupid. She has got Alzheimer's, but she ain't really. Do you know what I mean? She might not remember something I say to her and remember it 5 minutes later, but she's not stupid enough to go in there and then my dad die. But yeah, I can be there today for them. Yeah, I drive up and down that motorway all the time. I'm always up and down. I've been down there today and back up. I took my mum to my dad in the care home, see my dad today, and yeah, do you know, like he says, people say, yeah, clean time don't matter. Ask my mum and dad if clean time matters. Do you know what I mean? Or ask my sisters if clean time matters. They'll tell you it does. I don't look at my clean time, because I know it's just for the day. And as I've done that, the days have gone into months, weeks, and months, and then years, and that's what I just keep going. And it's just about me continuing this stuff, because I can't rest up on my laurels, and it's not good. It doesn't get me anywhere. I need to pause when I'm agitated, because I'm an angry person, man, and I can lose it. Once I say something, I know I can't take them words back. So I need to really be aware of what I do and what I say. But I think I'm changing. I don't think I would have come here before. I couldn't have sat here and talked about stuff, about what's going on with me in my recovery. But yeah, it's been nice. I felt a bit feared up coming here, to be honest. I didn't want to come here, and I was thinking, well, I'm going to a funeral, I can give them an excuse, I don't have to come. I've got to drive a long way back again. But I didn't, I just come, and because I think if I'm a hopeless drug addict who I would steal your drugs, and I would help you look for them, and that's the kind of thing I would have done, and then I would have gone and smoked it when you were gone. But that's from that kind of person, from a person who just thieved and just wanted to make money. I've done a lot of voluntary in that treatment centre. I've done a lot of voluntary when I come into recovery, and that gave me a good stead, because I had to do stuff for nothing, and I wouldn't have got out of my bed for nothing before. And yeah, I think my life's flourishing at the moment. Stuff's good for me. I bought into a business with someone, and yeah, he wouldn't have never have had that with me before. When he first met me, I don't think he would have had that. But today I'm a good friend of his, and yeah, he trusts me. He rings me all the time. He tells me what goes on in the business. He tells me everything what's going on. And I would have thought, when I come around, and people, when I first went into that treatment centre, it was Friday the 13th of December, and then the next day was my birthday, and then they was coming giving me chocolate cakes and cards, and trying to give me a hug. I said, I don't eat chocolate, keep the cake and just stay away from me. But that's how I was thinking. Everybody wanted something. He was doing something for something. I thought, I talked to Gal. I remember the night I was going to leave. I talked to you, and I was like, I fucking don't want to be here. Give me my money. I want to go. But I'm glad that I stayed there, and I learnt stuff, the tools to come into recovery. And I'm glad that I've got back on this program again, because it seriously started to twist my head. And now I know not to rest up on my laurels, because it'll just take me back into that place again, a place I don't want to be. Yeah, so recovery's given me love. I love recovery. I'm grateful to be here, and yeah, it's lovely. Thank you. I'll leave it there.
Thanks, Mike. Cheers, Mike.